What's up, y'all? So it's anyway here coming to y'all with a breakdown of the one and only Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, out of North Omaha, Nebraska, 37 years old, will be 38 in 3 weeks after the fight. His birthday's on the 28th of September. Blood about 5.5 reach, 41 fights, 31 KOs. With a 74-inch arm reach, he's a 3-division champion, 3-time lineal. 4-division champion, 3-time lineal, fight for undisputed at 168, fought one time at 154, was again undisputed at 147. He was undisputed at 140, and he's lineal champion at 135. Get out of North Omaha, switch hitter, and yeah, man, let's get to this breakdown. So, Bud uses a low guard. He changes head slots constantly. When anticipating attacks. Moves laterally very well on both sides, left and right. Has a very sharp jab. Has a very fast 1-3 combo that he throws to keep his opponents in check. Throws in the orthodox stance mainly. He tends to keep his right hand up to protect his chin from hooks or other punches in either stance. But as soon as he switches from orthodox to southpaw, early in fights, Bud tends to be vulnerable to overhand rights or straight right hands. Bud constantly changes his hand positioning and his upper body. Change the level to keep his opponents guessing. But has another fast combo that he throws with a 1-2-3. But jabs to the body as well to kind of get the opponent to open up, for a counter to the head or over the top or like a overhand right or 1-2 kind of what he did there with Spence. But tends to double and triple his jab, while also having a very fast overhand right followed by a jab. But does a very good job of keeping his fights in the center of the ring. Bud really has his back against the ropes. Bud will switch to his eyes. He's moving laterally as well in fights. He also changes levels, from high to low, just to get a different look and to keep his opponents again to guess where his head may be. Bud fights very well going backwards. Uses his signature check right hook or left hook, pretty much a check hook, or a short left hand in the southpaw stance or right. He also throws a probing jab, just to bait his opponents to throw punches, to open up for counters and to confuse his opponents. He changes the speed of his punches or jab as well, from a light to a hard jab, kind of like you see in like aerospace fights and other fights, which is very well. He changes that constantly. Bud likes to throw a lead, advancing uppercut. Also throws a sharp hook to the body that initially looks like it's a straight punch. You gotta change the direction of it. Also, Bud has a very sharp and fast 4-3 combo that either goes to the body or you go to the head too with. And he throws a cross to the body. One thing I want to touch on too.
Toe is the trainer in the corner of Kell Brook. First time they've ever worked together.
Make it to where
I'll tell you one thing that the southpaw stance has done. It's taking the jab away.
So if you notice, like a lot of his career, he fought a lot of orthodox fighters, and in several fights you will see he was switched to southpaw. One of the edges, even in earlier fights, one of the edges of being a southpaw is you have it to where now your jab is beating the orthodox fighter jab, to where now they jab is kind of going to have to come over the top of yours, but most of the time he has his jab come over the top of theirs because he has better lead hand control, like I said, using the 1-3 with the hook. And then also he doubles it up, triples it up, so like that. It goes to the bodies where it's like hard for him to win that lead hand battle. And then even like for example the Errol Spence fight, he switched southpaw, and even though their jabs didn't meet, but being he had the better jab when he was southpaw and obviously Errol was southpaw, what happens is basically since the jabs don't meet, it's on each side of each other. He can jab while he's moving to his right or left, mainly to away from the power hand of Errol. He kind of move and jab at the same time, which is actually very effective. And that's how he's so effective against Errol Spence, being able to jab on the move. Because again, be that they were in the same stance, it made it where his jab was going to be coming from the like opposite shoulder of Errol Spence. But most of the time, like in this fight, he's gonna have a Canelo. Say if he were to switch, which I could see him doing, his jab would be Canelo's, and how he would have a lot of success that night if he would decide to switch to southpaw, which I could see him do it because he does. I mean, he's had been southpaw a lot in his last several fights. And again, the purpose is to win that lead hand battle and just take control of the fight, really, and to make it to where the other opponent can't establish their range because they're not using their jab. Because the jab, that's kind of one of the main purpose. Because the first fight is going to probably trust the opponent in the ring. If you ever fought, you would get that. One thing too I want to touch on is Bud weaknesses. So being that Bud just like a high low guard where he leaves like his lead hand down, he's open to like say like I already touched on overhand price, hooks, stuff like that. Being that he moves laterally at times. He don't do it a lot, but he does in fights. If you are a pretty good pressure fighter, get cut off the ring, you can kind of make it to where he gets stuck and he kind of freeze a little bit at times, like you see in the Porter fight, stuff like that. One other thing is being that he throws like a 1-3. If you have a very good jab of your own, you can make it to where it's hard for him to throw his 1-3 combos or the 1-2-3. It's getting you make it hard to work because his jab is his main offense. If you have a good jab of your own, you gotta stop that. That's one thing. It could be a weakness, being that the fact that if you have your own good jab, it makes it to where it's hard for him to start his. But being that again, he does change his head slot constantly before he throws punches to anticipate attack. He doesn't really move his head a lot, and you can say it's kind of on a line at times, but he makes up for it by very elite footwork, pivoting, and it's just constantly changing his rhythm. But that's some people probably notice, like he don't really move his head a whole bunch, or he's not known for that. But he does move it though. Technically, it's not as, he don't do it as much as you would probably think or see other fighters do. Being that like I say, he's already able to overhand rights, right hands. That's some that due to the fact that he kind of keep his lead hand low like that, or again when he does have his back on the ropes sometimes, but he rarely does it. But when he does, see when he's moving laterally, kind of switches stance as he moves. If you trap him there, you can kind of catch him with that. That's something that he had to watch out for. Let's see. I would say the only thing I would say is kind of a weakness is, they say he starts slow. He technically doesn't, but it was something people say. It's just he a kind of puncher. When he throws punches, he throw punches to kind of establish the range. Is if you can start really and kind of come hard to him early on, you might can get some success because he doesn't like just right off the bat, which no point should do. It ain't wise. Just start to throw hella punches and attack a point. He kind of takes his time. Once he again get that range from using his jab, that it's over, next several rounds. But if you could, early just close the distance, you could probably have some success. But as far as that, those are really the only weaknesses that I feel like Bud has. He doesn't really have too many. But yeah, man, this is a full breakdown of Terence Bud Crawford. Let me know what y'all think. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Like I said, I already gave y'all the little sauce of white switches. So, anybody that want to know about Bud and, kind of want to see what's his tendencies, here you go, man. Drop me a like, subscribe, show support, and let me drop in the comments of the fighters you want me to do breakdowns on. I did a Canelo's. Y'all check that out if y'all can. And yeah, man. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all think I missed anything, which I watched several fights. I haven't missed anything, but y'all can let me know again in the comments. But it's to anyway out, man. Peace. I said I'm gone, and I'm gone.